The answer is capital no. They are not happy because of unbroken promises. They are not happy because of hardship, because of poverty all over, occasioned by recession that was facilitated by bad governance. They are not happy because of leadership recession. All these have compounded their problems.
Over time, some Nigerians have asked that why is it that we only hear of labor protests when it comes to increase in petroleum prices, or things in that level? Why don't we hear labor talking about development or growth in the real sector, which will eventually, touch the life of general Nigerians' welfare?
It would be wrong to say labor has not been talking. If you watch, Nigeria decided to be the mouthpiece of neoliberalism. How do I say this? When they wanted to privatize electricity, nobody would say that somebody like me did not talk to high heavens, did not protest to high heavens. Rather, the Nigerian state chose to use soldiers to privatize at gunpoint. And then Nigerians will be talking of labor as if labor has gone. They have a knife, they have cutlass. They will not come out to talk. By the time you allow them to privatize the electricity, and they are now even planning of privatizing NNPC, by the time they do this, you can't get it right. Even the private companies that are supposed to generate, if they generate at a very high cost of using diesel, there's no way the economy will survive. That is what you are saying. Now, from sector to sector, unions in the, maybe let me use the petroleum sector. I've been talking of PIB bill. They've been talking of repairing the domestic refineries. Nigerians will keep quiet. So labor is not just all about when we come together. We belong to sectors. So those are the areas you see they will start to say, oh, labor plan. It's a lie. Last week in Port Harcourt, electricity union and others were fighting. Some other unions were fighting all over the country. So it is a fight that we wage every other day. But we need support of other Nigerians.
So what about this issue with civil servants? A lot of civil servants in different states are complaining that they're being owed. I mean, a state government representative actually said that it's only 12 months and not up to 15 months as the workers claim. What is Labour doing to help this group of people?
Well, I think that's the case of Kogi. And when you see a governor saying he's owing only 12 months, you can see that the situation is really pathetic. There have been protests there. But here I can equally bring in what I may call lack of cohesion in the way the unions have fought those battles. It was this lack of cohesion that affected the strike against increase in petroleum products. There are unions in the public sector. There are unions in the private sector. They must work together for you to achieve a reasonable aim or objective. So if you leave the civil service unions to go and fight their battle because maybe they want to be in charge in every state, and that's part of the crisis in the NLC, then the problem remains there. Before the 2015 NLC election, apart from one state, Delta, that the chairman of the NLC then died, and the vice who came from Nupeng emerged as the chairperson of Delta State. The other 36 states were controlled by civil servants. No provision for unions in the private sector. Now, that continued. Now, in the event of any fight, state governors, what they will say is, okay, when they are tired, they go home. You can't do that when those unions in the private sector, maybe those in shop and distributive, shut down all the shops, or maybe in the electricity, shut down power supply in that state. Or maybe those that sell fuel say, we are not going to supply fuel to this state. Or the bank say no. Or probably where you have aviation, they say no plane flies into this area. Within 1 week, that state will collapse.
You mentioned cohesion between the different labor groups, but you, like, you're even causing more division because you just broke out to form the United Labour Congress. Isn't that going to weaken, you know, the power and the strength in number that Labour would have had?
No, it's not a function of number. Like I said before, it's an organizational thing. It's not whether you are 1 million or you are in billions. Now, if the organization is gotten right, now let me give you an example. This issue of minimum wage negotiation. The NLC and TUC are already giving signals that they should be the only people that will negotiate with government for this, that USC should not be considered. Now, do you know the implication of that? Exactly what happened last May when we had this fuel crisis. And they say they are not with us, and we say yes, we are not with them, and they collapse. This is what is going to happen again. So if there is cohesion at that level, it's not about whether you are 1 million or you are 2 million. If there is cohesion at that level and you speak with one voice, the tendency for you to achieve more will be there.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Ajaero, for coming on Channels Beam.
God bless you.
So now we'll take you back to the studio, but first, let's bring you the trending videos for last week. For the week ended 6th of May 2017, the social media had interesting trending videos as usual, while some have been on since the past week, like that of the released self-acclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, after he met the bail conditions.
I will speak as a trader.
On the 4th position, former Governor Peter Obi shares his thoughts on the federal government's proposal to borrow more. He was a guest at this year's platform organized by Covenant Christian Center.
My original business is trading from Onitsha market to Balogu market to anything. And that is where I remain.
I have told Nigerians, I repeat today to Nigerians, I'm not corrupt and that I don't like money.
The Minister of Transport's defense that he is not corrupt is still trending. Mr. Rotimi Amechi was a guest on Hard Copy on Channels Television. The video occupies the 3rd position.
And of course, and by the way, we all know that Nigerian jollof rice is the best.
Next to that is the question that which jollof rice is the best. During his visit to Nigeria, Richard Quest of CNN had asked the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, which country's jollof rice was the best, to which Mr. Mohammed said it was Senegalese. Well, the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, has countered the minister's remarks by saying that Nigeria's jollof rice is the best.
We beat the Ghanaians and the Senegalese, hands down.
And top on the list of the most watched video, the appearance of Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari at the Jumat prayers. This caught the attention of most people because of talks on the president's health and his absence at the Federal Executive meeting for the 3rd time. Well, that's it on this discussion on Nigerian workers. Well, we hope we will get more cheerful reports when we celebrate Workers' Day in 2018. And that's it for this episode of Channels Beam. I'm Amy Thompson.